Right. Um. Yeah, we are live. Jesus, a fucking also. All right. So I've been doing lives on Instagram. What this? What's up? It's me, Spaceman. Uh, I'm here. I don't know what platform this is. Seeing this on, but I had been doing my little DIY no budget broadcasts on Instagram Live. Um, Instagram basically just dubbed my shit midway through this project that I was embarking on by putting this whole caveat that you can't do lives if you have less than 1,000 followers, which I do not. But I had already kind of committed to doing this thing in support of the current promotional arc I'm in right now, Social Skills series, hashtag Social Skills, um, which is a series of collaborative singles, all featuring very cool rappers. So I had done an IG live with my man EB Go Hard when we were promoting Mumblecore. I did an IG live with Fatboy Sharif when we were promoting Think Twice, and I was going to do IG Live with Kyle Raps in support of the single Geometry, which is out now, and you should go listen to if you haven't, and if you have, you should listen to it again. On Spotify, whatever platform you like, or cyberspace667.com. I digress. I was going to do this video that we're about to do here with Kyle Raps on Instagram, but they nipped that, so we had to move to a different platform. I'm figuring this platform out in real time. But I think we're good. I think everything is cool. Kyle Raps is, I hope, still there. I've been fucking waffling, but I'm not gonna waste any more time. It's your boy, the Spaceman. I'm going to see what's good with Kyle Raps right now. We're gonna make some fucking content. How do you like that? You're on it. Hashtag social. I like that little name, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what up, man?
Kyle Raps, my brother. What's going on, bro?
Good, man. Good. I
Ugh.
see you're in the car right now. Are you in Long
I,
Island?
I'm in Long Island. Yes, I'm in the hood, I'm in the town. Correct. I've been
Oh, I
on.
like.
I've been doing these little my little fucking bullshit broadcasts or whatever. I've been doing them from the V. Um, I don't even really know. I guess it's just relatively quiet, like a relatively controlled space that I could just kind of like talk from and broadcast from or whatever. Um, yeah. So I don't know. This kind of been what I've been running with for a broadcast setup for a little bit. Um, but yeah,
I like
fucking.
it, man. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Fucking Kyle, man, how are you, bro? How are you doing? What's going on?
I'm
What's
good. I
up?
was sick yesterday. I'm good, man. I think so I had these two big shows that, were last week, and I think I just like overdid it. I like did too much, you know what I mean? Like preparing and shit like that. And then like the shows were great, but then like I like worked out the morning of like the hardest workouts I did all year. Dumb shit, you know what I mean? And then when I was done, I was like, yo, like I had a fever and like this like sickness. I'm not in like tour shape, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And this
yeah,
wasn't even a
right.
tour. This was just two fucking dates. But
Yeah,
but so now I'm recovering.
yeah, man. Fucking, it's funny. It is funny because I haven't done too many shows as of late, but
Yeah.
even from just in general, because I used to do a lot more shit back in the day, but it's like it's true, like that shit will take a toll on your body, like, and I don't know. I guess it's just like you know, I guess there's just certain parts of you that are just being more tense and shit that you normally not even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you really just hold it. And you just like, nigga, I'm locked in. So,
Bro. Yes. It was exactly that shit, man. And like, and it was excitement too, like levels of excitement that I'm not really used to
right,
going through in a regular day.
right,
Like meeting people like Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and like that's the dude I fucking that's like that dude raised me on some level. You know what I mean? I listened to that music my whole life, and you get excited and shit, and like you don't realize like when you're younger, you're like built to be excited. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Word.
built for like
Right.
highs and lows, right?
Right.
And like now, man, I'm not young, and so like when I get those highs, like the lows go
Right.
low, bro.
Right. Take their
But it
toll.
was no, I
No.
mean, not to complain. The shit was really incredible to be able to do those shows, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely recovering.
It's real. Nah, bro. That shit
Yeah.
is real. That shit is fucking real. I mean, it is.
How are you, man?
I'm cool. I'm cool. I mean, just I'm good. I'm good. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, just I tell like, I don't know. You might have been, yeah, because I know you got your own thing going on or whatever. But with the old spaceman right now, I've been just like building out kind of like my approach to the digital media thing. You know what I'm saying? Like as
Mm-hmm.
of late, and just kind of like reorienting like my angle and my approach to the shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a whole fucking thing, just on its own. You know what I'm saying? But it's been cool because this whole this like social skills thing that I'm doing right now. It was originally like I had another project that I was like finishing up when it just
Mm-hmm.
kind of struck me to put together some of these features, and some of the songs I had done, and some of them I was like, nah, I want to get so and so on this, da 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 da. But I just kind of had the idea for like a theme or an arc or whatever for these singles before it even came down to the whole project that I was working on. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But as I've been rolling out the singles successively or whatever, like I've just been kind of, just looking at shit differently, just in terms of really just, promoting singles and funneling and doing all of this fucking shit, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's been I'm cool, bro. I'm in a pretty good place. But yeah, I mean, so that's how we're both doing. I know I don't know, I guess for the uninitiated, because you know, I've been doing these these little videos or whatever. I was just saying in my little preamble that I had been kind of keeping this concept on Instagram where I'm doing these features, and I wanted to have like a conversation with the
Mm-hmm.
dudes who's featured on the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's some fly content. You know what I'm saying? Like boom.
Yeah.
So, but we're doing this on a different kind of platform, so I'm still kind of feeling out how the transitions and things like that work, because it's not live. We're recording
Mm-hmm.
this right now, and then we're gonna chop it up and see what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? But
Good. Yep.
the point, but anyway, all of that is to just say that let's I guess let's kind of Kyle raps, like where's the me and you have been knowing each other for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like back in the day when I was in Inner City Kids, and you were in Brooklyn in those days, you were staying in Jersey.
Oh, no, I was in Harlem in those days, actually.
Right,
Yeah.
right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
Yeah. 131st and Lenox. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, we got to know each other. We did it. We did some work together back in the day, right?
Bro, we did
Um,
some dope shit. I fucked with the shit. We did fucking, we did the fucking Cocoa, what was it? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs joint.
yeah,
And you was like, your verse was crazy. You're like, running down the block and chased by second graders. Like, you was already on some like Mr. Lift on steroids shit.
it
Like, you know what I
was.
mean? You was like on some real interesting, introspective, but at the same time psychedelic, edgy shit. Like, even then. So I remember like, I was like, space, forced to be reckoned with. You know what I mean?
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Thank you. And I mean, and that's always, and like that's always one thing. Like we've always, I've always felt like just from a just two niggas that rhyme sort of standpoint or whatever. I always felt like you got it, which is something that I've always really appreciated about just kind of having you as a friend or somebody who talk about music. But
Appreciate that.
in turn, because see, I guess this is kind of the thing. This is kind of what I've been trying to get more. It's like
Mm-hmm.
one thing about like I want to sort of I guess, build a platform or kind of just get more topically into the technical side of what we do. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And in terms of like, really just, wordplay construction and, some of the more really, the building blocks of the shit. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like, and in that spirit, that's one thing that I've always really appreciated about your approach to rhyming. You know what I'm saying? Is that you have a very it's very like not even like choppy for the sake of being choppy, but
Mm.
very structured, right? Like a very
Mm.
structured approach to rhyming.
Mm.
And then, I think one thing about that is that you whenever anybody kind of approaches something with a structural mindset, you can employ a lot of stylistic shit from that
Mm.
standpoint, from that framing. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like the more kind of control over the mechanics that you might have, the more that you can even sort of see just interesting, dynamic, emergent wordplay, now whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Mm.
whatever the style is, even if we're not talking about rap and shit. So
Yeah, I get you.
yeah. So, off rip, I got that's something that, I've always appreciated about your style. And I guess to kind of make the transition or whatever, when
Mm.
I was putting together geometry, that was one of the main reasons why. Like, I don't even think I had a. I'll keep it a buck with you. I don't think I ever even considered getting anybody else on that record. You get
Appreciate
what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I had the sort of concept for it or whatever. Because now let's talk about the record. Now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we had I had this sort of idea, or like, it's not even like an idea. It was just like a vibe, like a sense or whatever.
Mm. Mm.
About it's just kind of just sort of like like not even mystical, like woo woo, but like kind of like a gritty mysticism. You get
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
like
I love it, man. So I mean, just to what you're saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
obviously, first of all, you're talking about the structure and
right,
the ability to sort of get down into the nuts and bolts of wordplay
right,
and how we do it. You know, I think about it, man. Like when I first started rhyming, like early on, like I was more on the poetry side, and so I didn't really have enough structure in my flows. It was
right,
just more like free verse, free vibe, but I always wanted to have like some interesting thing to say, you know what I mean, conceptually or wordplay wise. And then I kind of went the other side, like overcorrection, and it was like
mm,
everything had to be in the you know what I mean, in
mhm,
super order, almost
right,
OCD level, and then you find yourself restricted, by the structure, you know what I'm
right,
saying, by the
right,
overstructure, and then you find a sweet spot.
right,
And for me, that was great because it took time. It just took time. The issues just took time,
right,
Had I been, I mean, a confession, had I been like a natural, my natural ability to flow, in the pocket, had that been higher off the rip, I think that like, I probably would have been more successful younger, because I had the creativity and the imagination, and the edge to be able to, you know, I think, push an agenda, you know what I mean? Push a lyrical agenda, but it took me a while to really get the right delivery system, or a delivery system that felt like okay, this is gonna do what it needs to do, right? From
right,
the hip hop perspective.
right.
And in terms of geometry and what we're talking about with this record, like one of the things I've always loved is you know next level gypsy caravan but hood. You know what I'm saying? Or or like, we taking you, break on through the other side, Jim Morrison, you know, but like, but you might get fucked up in the process on some hood shit. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
and that's always been a vibe that I felt like
yeah,
that you was able to really portray. And I remember when you approached me for the feature, you said, and I love this is very spaceman shit, bro. You said, yo, you give me a prompt, and like, motherfuckers like you, the type of cat, like most cats, if they give me a prompt, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, don't give me a prompt, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? But like, if it's Spaceman, bro, like, I know, like, it's gonna be some shit. You know what I mean? It's gonna help elevate what I do. So, you said something about think about the concept of like a heist film. You know what I'm saying? A
No,
heist. Isn't that what you said? And I was like, yo, I was like, bet, like
I
that is
said,
something I can obviously jump with
I,
because there's so much to that. What'd you say? Go ahead.
I said cool schemes.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
cool
yeah, yeah,
schemes.
yeah. See, yeah.
That was precisely it. And that's the thing is like, cause it's funny that you even say that. Cause I didn't give niggas prompts and no shit like that on this. That wasn't how I was with any of the other, there was certain,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't about, oh, I wanted to hear, but especially too, just because of that. I mean, it is just so funny that you said that because I already like, and I think the thing about it too, while we even, because it's just that recursive element. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the schema of it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and I think like because that's one thing about that I've always appreciated and admired about your style is that it has that breadth. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like obviously, but and I guess you could chalk that up to vocab in a certain element or whatever. But you're not one of those. You're not like that. You're not. That's not what you do. But
Mm-hmm.
even in that, there, I guess we could chalk it up to vocabulary or whatever it is. But in terms of just like stylistic, like widescreen, like who the fuck knows what
Mm-hmm.
this nigga's gonna even be drawing on
Mm-hmm.
to to realize this very broad sort of idea or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And that was why it
Mm-hmm.
even occurred to me to to ask you to use that prompt or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, was just because it's like it just really reminded me of like you know the vagueness of it. I thought would be something that you could really interpret in a very cool way. you know
Yeah, I think so, and I think that
yeah.
both of us have that in common. I mean, there's this like enjoyment of a certain amount of esotericness,
Mhm.
but also wanting it to feel grounded enough. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? That it's not just word salad. You know what
right,
I'm saying? That there's the vocabulary and and dexterity and stuff like that of vocabulary, but not just for vocabulary's sake. That it
right.
actually like has some teeth to it. And so I know when you throw me a prompt like that, I'm like, oh yeah, like he wants to go there, what I mean, in a way that really is going to help me, saying like get this shit done, the right way. And so that was great to see right off top. I love that. And like, and you know me, I mean, enough to, creatively, et cetera, to know, what I mean? So that's why like, of course, when you hit me and approach me about a feature like this, it's no question. You know what I mean? It's no
Yeah.
question
No, I
we're gonna like we're
appreciate
going
that.
off, you know what I mean? And I really
Appreciate you
love
so
what
much.
you did with the with what you did on the verses, what you did with the chorus. It really makes me wish that we had a budget and that we could like, what I'm saying, go to some like fucking wild desert,
Mm,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah,
just like mix it with some like, some dangerous nature, you know what I mean? Type shit, and like maybe in the future, so you never know.
yeah,
But like, but that shit, yeah, man, like that. I really I love it, and I've always enjoyed it. I mean, so yeah, I mean, to be able to go off lyrically with that one, in the ways that you did, I commend you, and for for giving me that opportunity, man. I'm grateful for real
yeah.
talk.
I'm very grateful for you for your contributions as well, my brother. And
Thanks, man.
so on that same note, though, so that's geometry. If
Hmm.
you're watching this, you know what I'm saying? That's geometry now on all of the streaming platforms. Hashtag geometry. Hashtag social skills featuring Kyle Raps. Produced by the suspect allegedly. Go listen to the music. Um, but yeah, so now that we've talked about that, we talked a little bit about our background and history, whatever. You got a lot of shit going on right now. You're doing a whole bunch of cool things. So fucking, I know this whole thing with the surfing, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
cause you wasn't a surfer back when we was
No,
mobbing out here on the East Coast. That wasn't your thing.
no.
So,
No.
and and to see you on it now or whatever, like it's clear that, like, it's not a gimmick or something like that. Like, this is something that you're really very invested in.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I don't, tell me, say whatever you want on that, but just I guess my question, or I'm just like, what's that about? What is that?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that? Like,
It's interesting, man. Yeah. So you know, I always had I was drawn to nature. Since I had the opportunity to do like a couple of hikes and stuff like that in my 20s when I was traveling and rapping and stuff and doing the poetry shit. And I had done some hikes and I was like fucking with nature heavy. But I never, growing up, Jersey, like, we would go to the shore, but we wouldn't really like swim. You know what I
right,
mean? Like, go to the boardwalk. You know what I mean? Like, every now and then you sit on the sand and shit, you know what I mean? Whatever. But
right,
like, and so when I got to LA during the pandemic, I joined up with this group called Color the Water, who was actually giving free surf lessons, to people of color. This is out of the whole George Floyd thing.
okay,
They was like really trying to, get people more, black folks more empowered with outlets, whatever, healing, you know what I mean, ways to connect with nature. And I joined up and it really it felt like something I'd never experienced before. I remember watching like Point Break and shit, and on the movies back in the day like Blue Crush and like, but it never really felt like some shit that like I could do. Like I was like, nah, like that's some shit. I even remember seeing people surf one time when I had visited California one time, and it was just like, bro, like that's a whole different type of animal, you know what I mean, and it's
yeah,
not made for me.
right.
Um,
But
but
you,
but when I started learning with this color of the water, it really felt more approachable, and I started doing it like almost every day. And then before you know it, I'm catching waves, and I'm like learning the codes of the shit. So I didn't even had it thought about it from a music perspective
right,
until maybe
right,
like a year after I was like, and then once I looked at it from a music perspective, I was like, yo, you can't just jump on some shit like, you know what I mean? Like, you better know some shit. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You can't just, because this is a deep culture. Like, surfing culture is a deep ass culture.
right,
Like skating culture, like any type of, And so, you can't just, I ain't trying to come out, sideways like that. So, I really did, on top of that, decided to do some research, into like, okay, have people done this before? Like, you know, what do I know enough people that this is going to resonate, who are really surfer like for life people,
right,
not just like and so that was the thing that really, so I started putting out these little demo joints. I started like recording and putting them out to like sending them to folks, and they was like, yeah, do this. I kind of like want to make sure that it was like, because creatively it was feeding me. I was like, yo, this is a thing, like, so, black surf shit, like, what I mean, this is new for me, new territory creatively. And so it started resonating, not only with the surfers of color in the community that I was in LA, but then all of a sudden like weird white dude from like this old school surf TV show was like, yo,
right,
like fuck, yo, like, you know what I'm
right,
saying? And I was like, yo. And so like that really made me feel like, okay, like across the board, I want to do something serious with this. So who would I want to reach out to as far as like if I was to build this project out? And I was able to send a demo to Dan the Automator. For those that listeners might not know, Cool Keith fame, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Octagon, you know what I'm saying? Then of course
legend,
Del,
legend,
yeah, Deltron shit, Handsome Boy modeling school shit, legend. But a lot of folks don't know. And then actually really got his most success doing working with Gorillas and off that Clint Eastwood production on Gorillas, that song. But like the bottom line is, he was down, and that was crazy. Like I sent it to him on the DM tip, Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, I'm down to produce this EP." I was like, "How much you need?" Because I know he's a real solid hitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't
yeah,
gonna just try to. And he was like, "Yeah, like you can't afford me." He's like, he's like, "Hit me with a couple racks, and we good for 6 songs." He came from the Bay to LA where I was living, and we worked together in the studio, and like he really helped me shape, a record, like a EP. So it's kind of exciting to have the EP, but I didn't really have that much of an audience. You know what I mean? So then I say, I need to start doing little videos, little clips about surf rap to try to
right,
build the audience.
right,
So you do little verses and shit. You know what I mean? Got those off. Um, and then from there it starts to build where I'm like, all right, I have some relationships. Let me talk to the homie Jaron Benton, who we had a podcast together and all that before. And I was like, yo, let me see if he's down to do a feature. Boom, he hits me. Let me talk to Coast Contra, who came up in the studio that in my studio that I co-own in LA. And it was like, we're lacing you. That's actually coming out on Friday, the single with Coast Contra,
Very cool.
You know what I mean? And then you start to try to leverage that shit, like boom,
Yeah.
let me hit Dan. They doing the Deltron 2020, 3030 25th anniversary tour. Yo, Dan, we got this coming out then with these people. Can I get some dates?
Yeah.
And Dan is like, I got you, you know what I mean? And then I do these dates and then I get sick. And this is where we at. You know what I mean? So so I hope that's
Yeah.
long story, not so short, but
Hey, no, that's a good fucking story, guy.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. So that's good. I'm still not making much bread, no real bread or anything. But we got a vinyl coming out of this. It's called Surf Tape. You know what I mean? Hmm. Oh, I think you froze.
And we're back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
third.
little technical difficulties. It's hot as fuck. Recording in my car. Phone
I
over.
feel you.
Good. Good. Turn my AC down. I think we'll survive. But yeah, so the main thing. So when was this? So when did you initially get in contact with Dan the Automator? Like when was that?
I started surfing like 2021. I got in contact with Dan 2023, 2022.
Right. 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 Fucking.
Yeah, 2022. I hit him. Because I had just it'd been a little bit of a year after, more than a year after I had started surfing and got really into the culture, and then was like trying to fuck around. I was like, yo, I think I got some demo shit. Let me see. And then I was like, yo, this really feels like I'm moving with it. Hit Dan up, and yeah, Dan like blessed me with like his time, his guidance on the project too, and boom, and then but it was like, yeah, had to start really building enough of a base that I felt like it would be worth, if you drop a Dan shit, you want to have some kind of a base behind. So like shit. So I
Yeah,
started
for sure.
working on these videos, and it worked. And they started building a little bit of traction, and then
Because
so here we go. Hopefully we'll
well, yeah, I mean, because I guess because for me, right, like it's interesting to even like sharing all of that because I had seen you doing the thing,
Mhm,
just all of these like very well produced surf, style video freestyle things that you have been
mhm,
putting on your socials and shit, which I always thought was
mhm.
very cool. And so that was the thing, was that was how my kind of awareness and understanding of this whole surf lifestyle that you're doing kind of,
Mhm,
that's how I was like, oh, this is something he's really doing this. So it's just
mhm.
interesting, and now you're doing the Dan the Automator thing, so it's even more interesting to kind of know that you had made that connection already, really, before a lot of this stuff was kind of reaching, the layperson such as myself. So that's very interesting. And so and this music that you was working on with Dan the Automator, you've already dropped. That's what's out now.
Only one of the songs.
Uh-huh.
One of the songs is called "Gone Surfing," and that's the one with
Right.
Jaren as the feature. That was like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
eighth
yeah.
single, and then on this Friday, another one that comes out is called "Black Bodhisattva," and that's gonna be with the Coast Contra feature.
Very
That's also
cool.
from the Dan
Very cool.
production, and then in the following couple weeks, the rest of the EP called Surf Tape, um, will
Surf tape.
will drop. But yeah, it was cool, man, to be able to do those videos. That's also been a like, you know, so I moved to LA, right? And like, in 2020 during the pandemic, and like one of the upsides to living in LA, obviously surfing, nature, and all that. But like, is there's a lot of people who are like very talented at their various crafts who like aren't always on like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, for example,
Yeah, what do you miss?
I linked up with my good friend Robert, who's a camera dude who used to do like legitimate photography with like F1, you know what I mean? Legitimate shit for like NASCAR. Like he's like was a top dog,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, in that world. And then he's in LA and shit. and then okay, all of a sudden, like digital takes over, and his shit isn't the Car and Driver magazine ain't real. So he's like, let me find a way to pivot, and he's cutting his teeth with doing videos, and he's my friend, and he's like, let me. He's like, bro, like I got you. You feel me? It's like different than like, and so he's like, boy, and he's been in LA a long, long time, and you can live a little bit more cheap in LA than like New York, for example. You know, if it was New York, no fucking way. Unless you like students and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nah, motherfuckers is. I remember back in the day, like we was working with Nico and shit, Nick Heller and shit
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like giving us the homie price. Like, imagine that shit. Like, but now, like that would be crazy, Brett. So
Oh
like,
yeah.
so Bobby hooks me up. And so now we got the plug of the nature. We can shoot in nature, and we got like a top shooter,
Yeah.
and boom, you know what I mean, right there. So that's the advantage of one advantage of LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
it's tying together definitely. I mean, just the whole visual language of it is definitely like very cohesive, but it's still switch it up and everything. It's very cool, man. It's very cool to see all of this sort of
Thanks, man.
crystallizing and really turning into like a very very cool thing. I really didn't even. It's so
Thanks,
funny
man.
because I had been, like I said, I just was feeling the Hang Ten surf vibes, just seeing you on the gram
Yeah,
and shit like that. But it's like, oh no, there's
yeah.
some real knowledge going on here and shit. So it's very cool, very cool. Um,
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of folks don't necessarily know the history of surfing to the degree where, like, it began in Ghana. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, black folks started surfing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow,
people don't know that. And of course, we get flack for like saying we started everything. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? But like on a real level, like that's that. I mean, that's the original. You know what I'm saying? That's the original man. And then secondly, the Polynesians, which
right,
are also, these are darker skinned individuals. So like, and then it became kind of colonized by Australians, by like sort of like the Angelinos, the
naturally,
Californians. So like,
of course,
you see me? So like reclaiming our space in the water and with a
yeah,
relationship to
right,
the water to me was
yeah.
big.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You gotta. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You gotta get a placement on the soundtrack for the new Avatar and shit like that. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, something, bro. You know what I mean? I'm with it. Give it
was
to me, bro. I'm with it. But no,
that
real
was
talk, like,
that was one other thing that I did want to ask you too, like, because I know you said that you got into it from the very the community outreach thing in LA and everything, which is very cool. But I mean, so you had not even been like drawn to surfing in any like sort of real way prior to that, like, and was kind of just looking for a reason to get into it, or it really just you just came over you at a point in time.
so here's the thing, man. It seemed like really I couldn't approach it. You know what I mean? It was like,
Right,
how am I supposed to do this shit? Like,
right,
how you learn this shit?
right.
And when I was like many people during the pandemic, I was like, dealing with some, depression shit, like feeling, what I mean, just like going through my shit, and especially during the whole era where the George Floyd stuff, and there was all kinds of heavy stuff going on, and when the brother David from Color the Water had reached out. And around this particular thing he had put out like a thing on his Instagram, and it just had hit me. I had seen it, and it really that spoke to me. And he had spoken about like, this is a way to get through like difficult stuff too, not just like a level of like we're gonna be out here like fucking Beach Boys shit. Like no, there's something real here, and this helps deal with. And he had some like medical facts about, what I mean, about like
Yeah,
surfing and serotonin levels and shit like that. And I was like, fuck it, I got to get out, man. I've been cooped
yeah,
up on my hermit
yeah,
shit, pandemic. You know what I mean? And that was really what got me, on some like that side of it, you know what I mean? Like mental health side of it. And then I really experienced that. And within
yeah.
that community, we were building each other up in a way that really made me feel like, man, like I'm a lifer with this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how I am. So anywhere I go, like I'm surfing, bro. I was in after that, bro.
Yeah.
So, I got a chance to do some travel, you know what I'm saying? And I got to go to fucking Philippines, and I went surfing in the fucking Philippines, and went to Bali and went surfing in Bali. You know what I mean? Like I've been to Mexico, surfing in Mexico. Like I'm just like that shit is like no matter where I'm at, like I feel like I have to tap in with the ocean on some like,
Yeah.
pay my respects, but also, you know, um, draw some energy from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah,
badass, man. That's super cool. Yeah.
it's
Well,
been good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yo, Kyle Rash, man, I really appreciate you accommodating my schedule and shit
Of
like
course.
that. I know you got a lot going on. You're not even feeling well and shit. So I really do appreciate you, making the appearance and doing this. I guess I don't know. It feels weird. I guess, but all right, for the sake of the video, because I'm saying I'm not a broadcaster and shit like that. But let's okay.
No, you good. Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
so for the people watching and things of that nature, if they want to, tap in with Kyle Raps and subscribe to your digital presence and things like that, what are the people? What
Mhm.
do they do? What do they click on? What do they type?
I mean, yeah, the best thing is just to go on the Instagram right now. It's Kyle Raps. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you could Google it. I'm out here, and
right,
obviously Spotify and shit like that.
yeah,
But also just want to let you know, man, like with so much respect and reverence that I have for your craft in general, like if you ever pull up to LA, I got the studio. You know what I mean? If you ever want to, you ever want to get some recording time in, you need a couple hours here or there, like. That's on the strength. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in your back pocket if you have like a, you know. Secondly, um, if ever I'm
big
doing a
one.
show, I'm trying to join the Dell tour. If ever I'm doing a show and you're in the area and you want to jump on stage and we do, you know what I mean, and we do
Yo,
one of the joints that we have, like just know like that's a given. So keep that shit in mind. You know what I mean? Keep
peace,
that in your
yo,
pocket.
man, really. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man. You already, man. We've been fucking a life for a long time out here, so I mean, it's already. I'm glad to see shit moving for you in such a in just very interesting ways.
Thanks, man.
So of course I'm gonna be, I mean, you already know, man. We good, but
Yo, man, I just know I admire you. I admire what you do, man, and
likewise,
and uh, I appreciate being on here. Real talk.
likewise, brother. Thank you, man.
All right, we'll talk soon, bro.
All right, man. Later. Peace.
All right, later. Be safe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. All right, that was cool. That was dope. Fucking shout out to Kyle Raps. That nigga's mad. Wordplay. The wordplay with that fucking guy. Different level. He's doing all this shit. Fucking damn automator and shit like that. And surfing. Very cool. Very, very cool. Speak to him for showing up. Yeah, this is the part back when I was doing Instagram Live where I would like talk to the audience and kind of bullshit for a little bit, like the whole thing. But there is no audience because it's not Instagram Live. I don't know. If this shit works out, I might stay doing this. Um, I think I could freak this on some fly shit setup or whatever. Um, or maybe not. So I don't know. This might be cooler than Instagram Live, and I'll say fuck it. But if not or whatever, then I'll probably end up going back to Instagram Live if and when I end up hitting 1,000 followers. But yeah, so all that is to say, I doubt I'm gonna stand here and fucking just keep waffling nobody. Sure enough. Yes, watching this. Thank you for being entertained by my internet content. It's very important for the brand. Intentional ambient dynamism to uh listen, watch the videos and shit. I don't know. I literally just smoked this whole spliff and shit. I'm high as fuck. All right. I think that's it. We're done. Thank you for being here. Geometry. Listen to Geometry. Go to cyberspace667.com. Listen to the song. Shout out Kyle Rap. Shout out to Suspect Allegedly. The new social skills song is gonna be coming soon. It's already fucking in the works. It's cool. And yeah, that's it. And I'll be back and I'll do more content and everybody will be happy. All right. Thanks. Peace. Later.